Someday we'll get paid for this.
Four public school parents and employees have embarked on a hunger strike outside the Philadelphia offices of Pennsylvania Governor Tom Corbett to protest the closing of 23 public schools, along with the firing of 4,000 public school workers. This brave act is quite a fitting one, since the shuttering of the schools is another effort in a long-running neoliberal project to starve everything and anything deemed public. Welcome to Collateral.
Breaking right now, thousands of layoff notices are going out to employees in the Philadelphia school district.
Thousands of employees are getting layoff notices.
Thousands of teachers, along with hundreds of assistant principals.
Two parents and two employees of the Philadelphia School District are giving up food until the district gets more funding.
The latest wave of firings were announced earlier this month and will terminate officials whose responsibilities include school safety and serving food to children. It will surprise few that minority students will be disproportionately affected by the closings and firings. The state of Pennsylvania took over management of Philadelphia's public schools back in 2001 and soon undertook the privatization of public education in earnest. The goals of the present wave of destruction are stark and straightforward: to have 40% of the city's former public school population in charter schools by 2017. Charter schools are run by private companies, often for profit, and typically offer their employees far less in the way of benefits and job security. Advocates of charter schools contend that they're more efficient and offer children better education at a low cost. The truth, of course, is far more complicated. The real project of the conservative originators of the modern privatization movement isn't improving education or any other public service. The real project is to kill anything and everything that, in their view, is tinged with left politics or socialism. The modern champions of this movement in the West are Ronald Reagan and Margaret Thatcher, the latter of whom famously said that there is no such thing as society. She meant it. Ever since the progressive era in the United States, conservatives have wanted to kill the notion of the public in all its manifestations. And the victory of public education, for all its flaws, was one of the signature achievements of left politics. Education reformers like John Dewey understood how vital a healthy system of public education was to the realization of human potential and to the production and maintenance of a democratic society. He wrote that to prepare the child for his future life means to give him command of himself, to train him that he will have the full and ready use of his capacities. Education, Dewey noted, is a regulation of the process of coming to share in the social consciousness, and the adjustment of individual activity on the basis of this social consciousness is the only sure method of social reconstruction. Public schooling, from the Thatcherite Reaganite perspective, is tantamount to socialism. Killing public education means, from their perspective, killing a crucial achievement of the political left. Thatcher waged a war on the British industrial working class as a way of eviscerating the base of the pre-Tony Blair Labour Party. In the US, conservatives have long waged war on the poor and racial minorities with the same goal of destroying their political opponents on the left. Too many liberals, unfortunately, have not accepted this fact of political life. They still foolishly believe that they can dialogue with those committed to their destruction. Thus, we have two diametrically opposed political philosophies here. The first, held to by people like Dewey and other social reformers, believes government has a clear and irreplaceable responsibility in the role of the development of human potential, and that all children, no matter what their socioeconomic background, must be given the resources to achieve that development as a non-negotiable element of the social contract. The second philosophy, held to by cretins like Tom Corbett, who are descended from Reagan and Thatcher, see government as a financial competitor in the education service provision industry. They don't believe that corporations do a better job at educating people. That's a complete red herring. All they care about is gaining access to whatever big pots of public money still exist and taking them for themselves and their cronies. From the perspective of the neoliberal political philosophy, your body and your children's bodies are simply targets for profit extraction to be exploited for that purpose. This isn't limited to education either. On the medical front, pharmaceutical companies have been instrumental in reshaping our definition of health in order to maximize the public's intake of prescription drugs. In the realm of national security, surveillance has expanded to encompass every inch of the physical and virtual worlds in order to generate retrievable information about every move we make, all of which can be repurposed for targeted advertising and market research. It's about privatizing everything: health, security, education, food production, and ultimately about killing the notion of public good in favor of purely individual ones. With respect to public education, the conservative reactionaries have something of a problem because people have come to expect public education as a right of citizenship. It can create a huge backlash when they try to undermine it, as Rahm Emanuel found out in Chicago. So rather than attack the idea of public education head-on, they often work hard within the political system to make public schools as shitty and as unlivable as possible. Then, they propose remedies that are exclusively market-based ones, like charter schools, which literally take public money to run their schools and then pocket whatever profit they can garner from cutting corners in the education of children. The hunger strikers in Philadelphia are doing an extraordinary thing. They're fighting to save Philadelphia's public schools from a profoundly regressive and dangerous ideology, one which Pennsylvania Governor Corbett proudly adheres to. That's who Pennsylvania elected, and that's its cross to bear.